Hello, my name is Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel. I keep seeing people talk about books that like the 25 books they want to read in 2025. I don't pay attention to like new releases. I'm not really great at that. What I am great at is having a very extensive backlist. It is really bad. Let's not really talk about it. Overconsumption is a thing in this home. I am guilty of it. I've tried to stop. That being said, I did order another book. I don't know where it is. It says it was delivered. I don't know where. But I did see another video. I believe it was Lily C. Reads. She was like 25 backlists that she wants to read in 2025. I did pick 25 backlist books off of my shelves that I want to read this year. Now, some of these, I've just had them for a really long time and I'm going to cry if I don't eventually read them soon. And some of them are, that'd be cool to read at some point soon. Just because, you know, some of these are like really popular and I feel left out. Some of these are fantasy and I don't really vibe well with fantasy, but I'm trying to be a fantasy girl. Like I kind of used to be, or maybe I just forced myself. That could be it. Anyway, I'm just going to, like, these are in no particular order other than how I just grouped them around me, and we're gonna get into it. So the first one I'm grabbing, Return to Wildcliff Heights by Carol Goodman. Goodman. I've read two things by this author years ago and loved them. This, I believe, was released last year. I pre-ordered it. It sounded similar to the other two that I read by her and I was like, I need this now. So instantly got it. Haven't touched it since. In fact, I think a cat like slept on it. I would like to get to this at some point this year. I feel like that. I don't have to say that after every book. I feel like we know that. I feel like we've established that I would like to get to these at some point this year. Next, The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava. I love romance. I did kind of start reading this. Again, this is also another one that I pre-ordered and just didn't touch. I think I got it during my reading slump and I wasn't reading anything then. It sounds like an interesting premise. I believe she gets caught in like a lie and, you know, stuff ensues. Romance ensues. As a person devoid of it, this is why I read so much romance, okay? I don't date, so I just want to read about other people doing that. Okay, this is, I'm first of all going to butcher the name of this author. Also, I'm really surprised. I really wanted to read this. Iron Widow by Sharon J. Zhao. I'm really sorry. I heard one person say it on TikTok like 20 minutes ago. It's kind of what prompted me to do this. I saw her on a TikTok talking about what was taking her so long to write the second one, and she was just like, they weren't paying me enough, and I was like, I feel that. As a person who was also severely underpaid at their last job, I get it. And she was just someone I really wanted to support. And I've heard that this has like a weird coupling. I don't know. So I'm really curious to read it. I don't think that it's going to go well for me. This could be the thing that turns me into a fantasy fan. I think it's fantasy. I might be really wrong. Also, it's fiction. I have no idea. I buy books without any knowledge. If the cover is cute, I will buy it. The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I read House of Hollow by this author. Loved it. This, I'm hoping I get the same vibes as House of Hollow because I loved that. I actually never intended on buying that book either. I was just going to a beach and needed something to do. I buy books with hopes that they just make my apartment flammable, I guess. I pre-ordered this. We will notice that I pre-order almost a lot of stuff that I don't really need to pre-order. All right. I have access sometimes to adult money and an Amazon account. Slightly excited for it, and I will cry if this doesn't make me feel the way House of Hollow made me feel. I know that's a lot to put on a book, but I cry a lot. Misdemeanor by somebody. Eleanor Littman. Littman. First of all, I bought this because of the name. It's very punny. Second of all, I know nothing else. She gets caught on a rooftop doing things and gets an ankle bracelet. That's all I know. Okay, now this is one of those where I want to know. I want to be a part of the hype. I want to join the crowd. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Pre-ordered this one. I didn't pre-order the last one, so we're winning. I'm pretty sure we all kind of know the basic premise about this, and that appeals to me. So yes, I would like to be a part of the people that love R.F. Kuang. Also, this is not the only R.F. Kuang in this stack. Piles. Next one. We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. I don't exactly know what this is about. I don't know why I bought it. I have had this for years. For an amount of years that I don't know. I believe I got this for like mental health rep. I think I have something, like I think I was relating to something when I heard about it. And so I got it. And then it sat on a shelf. Next up, Sunny Disposition by Deanna Gray. I've read Outdrawn by this author. Loved it. This is the first in a series that involves ice hockey. The Deep by Alma Katsu. I read like horror about the Titanic and I was sold. For some reason, like the Titanic gets me to read things. I read a book about the Titanic in space-ish. Another name I'm gonna butcher. I'm really, really sorry. Hex by Thomas Oldhoyvelt. Cool, got that out of the way. I have started this multiple times and then I get distracted by other things. Like I started it a couple years ago, went through a really bad breakup, kind of couldn't really continue it, you know, I was too busy crying. But I love the premise of this idea that there's a random town that a witch is just in and she just appears. And then once you move in, you can't really leave. So people are just kind of make people leave. It sounds really interesting. I heard about it on All the Books. Lauren Oliver, Broken Things. It was either this one or Panic that I wanted to read. I don't know. I just grabbed this one. I have a weird history with Lauren Oliver books. I read Delirium by her and hated it. I don't know why. I have the rest of the series somewhere and I bought it after I read it knowing that I hated it. But then I read Before I Fall. I think it's Before I Fall. It's not Before I Fall. Then I read the other one. Loved it. Started buying everything else by her that wasn't Delirium. I told you there'd be more R.F. Kuang. Babble. I really think this is going to be a trying time for me. I really think I'm going to struggle, but I will make that commitment. It's all about making myself a better reader. Why is this so heavy? This thing is weighty. What is... It's just filled with tears? A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I know what people say, and I have started this before, but sometimes I want to torture myself. This, out of all of these books, this is the one I really don't expect to go well. And if it does go well for me, there's something probably wrong with me. Like I'm fine with admitting that now. We're gonna try and read A Little Life again. Kindred by Octavia Butler. Octavia E. Butler. I've never read anything by Octavia Butler. Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. A lot of people love this. I want to be one of those people. Necromancers in Space, is that it? I don't really know. But like a lot of the people that I follow really love this and I want to be a part of that. I just want to feel included. Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. I don't know anything about this. I bought it at Powell's. This one I bought for a really specific purpose and it terrifies me. Stephen King's The Stand. First of all, hi. Before I kind of fell off from posting on this channel, I had this goal to kind of read things that my mom likes. My mom died in 2022 in December, like right before Christmas. So last year I was going to read this on, well, not her birthday because I had this plan after her birthday, but I was going to read this kind of the day she died, like her anniversary, death anniversary. I was going to read this then, but then I kind of stopped wanting to read. And then I got laid off from work and I didn't want to do anything but watch TikTok and things in Korean. So I'm going to make it a goal to read this. The reason why I picked this one is because my mom loves Stephen King movies or like Stephen King adaptations. And the one I remember the most from my childhood was her watching The Stand so much. I used to try to hide the tape from her because she would hide Power Rangers from me. So I feel like this would be a kind of cool tribute for my mom. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I haven't read it. I'm really curious. I want to know if it's going to give me the sun. That was really stupid, and I recognize that. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I like Taylor Swift, and I think Tolerate It. Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Oh, I got that right. I like Fake Dating. I bought this a while ago and I want to read it. A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Eileen. I like tea, and a magic system that revolves around tea kind of intrigues me. Knots and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. When I don't want to say why I want to read this, I'm just gonna put it down now. The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I believe I bought this around the same time that I bought Exit Pursued by a Bear. I was kind of going through something mentally, and I don't think this is going to be like a happy fun time book, but I've had it for a while. You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao. I want to cry. I want a day where I just read books and bawl my eyes out. I feel like this is going to do that for me. And last, I actually did purposely save this for last because it intimidates me the most. The Queen of the Night by Alexander Chee. I've had this for years. I have been curious about this for years. All the books podcasts raved about it, and I am a nosy person and want to know things. So, bought it. It's chunky, but the spine is cute. But I've just been staring at the spine for years, and I need to read it. I'm not against like DNFing any of these. I should say that. I don't really DNF usually. I just kind of suffer and then rant. These are my 25 books that I want to read in 2025. This is something we can revisit at the end of the year and see if I actually succeed. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you want, subscribe, like things. I don't really know how any of this works. Have a good rest of your day, night, morning. I will see you next time. Don't you dare. Don't do it. Don't do it. Phoebe, don't.